Okay, so I just wanted to go over question 123 from the sheet we did today because I don't think we gave the attention that it deserves, and it's important for you to really understand what's happening. So basically, we have this one function, y equals 2 cosine x, and that's this function here. And we're asked just for the first quadrant, so this is y equals 2 cosine x. And then we're also given another function, which is y equals x, and that's going to be this green one. And finally, we were given the x-axis, which is right here, and that's the function y equals 0. So you're looking for a region that has all three colors. And you can see that the only place where it makes sense would be this pale yellow area. Okay? So I know for my instructions I said always start with the formula because it just kind of leads you to the right place. So you're going to have an integral of x equals something to, whoops, I don't know why I put 0 in there, to x equals something to another x equals something. And then it's going to be the top function minus the bottom function dx. Okay? So first let's find out what these x's are. So the function starts here, this whole region starts here, and the region ends here. So it might be pretty easy to see that the first place is at 0, 0, so it's from x equals 0, and now you need to find this other black dot. Well, that black dot is where the red function meets the purple function. So the red function is 2 cosine x, and the purple function is just 0. So you want to know, when is 2 cosine x equal to 0? So you're going to go into your calculator, and it's already set equal to 0. Under your y1, you're going to put in 2 cosine x. And then you're going to go into second calc, and then choose 0, because you're interested in when it equals 0. And you're going to find that it will equal 0 when x equals 1.57. which you may or may not recognize is actually half of pi. So it's really at pi over 2 that this is happening. So it's 0 and pi over 2. Okay? So I am going to put in 1.57. And the reason why I'm doing that rather than pi over 2, even though I could do pi over 2, is because all these answers are in decimal form, so it should be fine. Okay, now I need the top function, and this is where the trouble starts. You can see that the green is the top function, but only until it gets to this point right here. And then all of a sudden the red function takes over. The good news is that the bottom function is the same for both of them. The bottom is just the function y equals 0. So I can replace bottom with just minus 0. But minus 0 won't affect anything. So really, all we need to deal with is the top function. So I'm just going to move this over a little bit. Okay, so what we have to do is we have to find out the green function is going from 0 to this point right here, which we don't know what it is. And then it's going to be the red function that goes from this unknown point to the pi over 2. So what we actually have to do is make two different integrals. So most important right now is to find what this x value is right here. Okay, so how are we going to find that? That x value is coming from right here, where the green and the red functions meet. Okay, so let's go back. So the green function is x, and the red function is 2 cosine x. So where they're equal is where they're going to intersect. So you have two choices. In your calculator, you could, under y1, you could put x, and under y2, you could do 2 cosine x. And then you can do second calc and see where they intersect. Or, if you prefer, you can set this equal to 0 by saying 0 equals 2 cosine x minus x. And then in your y1, you're going to put 2 cosine x minus x, and then go into second calc and choose 0 and see where that's going to be. Turns out that this is going to happen at x equals 1.03. So this point right here is 1.03. Okay, so I think we're ready now to put all this together. So I'm going to erase all this. Let's get a different color for you. Okay, so the first piece is going to go from 0 to 1.03. The top function is the green one, which is just x, minus the bottom function, which we already determined is 0 dx. That is going to get me my area of this piece right here. Now, to that, I'm going to add the next piece, which goes from 1.03 to 1.57, which is the pi over 2. Now the function on top is the red function, so that's 2 cosine x, minus the bottom function, which is just 0, so that's a dx. And that's the problem we have to solve. Okay, so I'm going to erase this whole thing on the top to make room. Now that we're done with the picture. And now we just have the integral. Whoops, I just erased something I wasn't supposed to. So this was 1.57. Okay, so this is definitely a calculator problem. And so you're going to put this first piece into your calculator. Could you do that by hand? Sure, but with these crazy decimals and stuff, it would definitely be a calculator issue. So that piece will become 0.53045. And then you're going to have this piece, and that is going to give you 0.2854. So you're going to add the two areas together, and that is going to give you 0.816, which is choice A. So I hope that was helpful, and on Thursday when we come back after the test, we'll go over numbers 124 and 126.